Hello everyone! For this session, we were going to discuss the use of multimedia and other technology, the traditional technology and new information technology, as well as the guidelines for using gender-sensitive language in writing and reporting. So let's begin.
Use of multimedia and other technology under new information technology. What is information technology? Information technology is the study and use of systems for storing, retrieving, and sending information. This can include software, hardware, applications, and so much more. Much of what people use in the 21st century was created with help from information technology. So we have 6 emerging trends in information technology. First, we have artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is machine learning to predict useful patterns humans normally identify. For example, smart machine, which takes human decision making out of the equation, so intelligent machine can investigate changes and bring forward solution to basic problems. Second, we have virtual reality. So technology that includes virtual reality is becoming prevalent. The software of virtual reality is making many industries prepared for various scenarios before entering them. The medical profession is projected to use virtual reality for some treatments and interactions with patients in the incoming years. So in virtual reality, it includes virtual training, of course, so that the companies can cut costs, fill in the need for personnel, and increase education. So always remember that even other professionals should must to undergo different seminars and training for their expertise. So here's an example of artificial intelligence with the use of smart machines. And the second one is an example of virtual reality. So the third emerging trends, we have augmented reality. Augmented reality is a more versatile and practical version of virtual reality, as it does not fully immerse individuals in an experience. Augmented features interactive scenarios that enhance the real world with images and sounds that create an altered experience. So here is an example of augmented reality. So, as we can see, augmented reality features interactive scenarios that enhance the real world with images and sounds that create an altered experience. The most common current applications of the overlay of digital images on the surrounding environment include the recent Pokemon Go fad or the additions in televised football in the US. Fourth, we have blockchain data. Blockchain data, this is a secure method that will continue to grow in popularity and use in 2019. This system allows you to input additional data without changing, replacing, or deleting anything. In the influx of shared data systems like cloud storage and resources, protecting original data without losing important information is crucial. So here's an example of a blockchain data. Fifth, we have also cyber privacy and security. Shared company systems and the growth of the internet leave a high amount of personal and company data at risk to breaches. Redesigned system and new firewalls and gateways will be added to the services companies needed to bolster their technology. So meaning, with the use of cybersecurity, it concentrates the information technology that will help secure clouds and improve the trust between business and their vendors. And lastly, we have the Internet of Things. So the Internet of Things, or the IoT, is an emerging movement of products with integrated Wi-Fi and network connectivity abilities. Cars, homes, appliances, and other products can now connect to the Internet, making activities around the home and go to the road an enhanced experience. Use of IoT allows people to turn on music hands-free with a simple command or lock and unlock their doors even from a distance. So we will now proceed to the importance of information technology and its disadvantages. So first, the importance of information technology allows the students of today are the leaders, inventors, teachers, and businessmen and women of tomorrow. Without the proper skills, these students will not have the preparation needed to survive. Second, information technology plays a key role in students being able to keep their jobs and go to school. Third, teachers need to be prepared by staying up to date with information technology, and this can mean more than just reading about the latest gadgets. So we have also the importance of information technology in healthcare. First, we have information technology has also updated the technology a doctor can use to diagnose or treat you. Second, most medical offices can now send and receive digital medical information from doctors you've had in the past. Changes like this allows costs to be lowered and increase the amount of time doctors can spend on the patients compared to paperwork. And lastly, security improvements with information technology have made it so that your medical information is secure no matter where it is. You can even have prescription sent digitally to local pharmacies at most medical offices. We have also the importance of information technology in business. Using computers and software, businesses use information technology to ensure that their departments run smoothly. Second, they use information technology in a number of different departments, including human resources, finance, manufacturing, and security. Third, using information technology, businesses like Amazon are working to help busy consumers to do their grocery shopping. And lastly, we have also the importance of information technology in finance. First, with all the online purchases going on, it is important that banks and security keep tabs on everything to keep everyone safe. Information technology might just working its hardest with internet transaction. Second, information technology has also made it faster and easier than ever to send or receive money. It's now also easier to open an online small business to well whatever you might want. So how social workers use technology? The National Association of Social Workers, or the NASW, and the Association of Social Work Boards, or the ASWB, developed in 2005 a set of standards for technology in social work practice. So technology throughout a social worker's career. First, we have earning and education. Online programs are available for undergraduate and graduate social work degrees from accredited institutions of higher education. Second, finding employment. Today's job search process often starts online, and if you are looking to move to a new location can involve video chat interviews. Just site includes the NASW Job Link or the Social Worker Careers magazine and the well-known job search sites Career Builder, Indeed, Monster, and Simply Hired. Third, we have the taking and storing client notes. So rather than maintain a collection of unwritten notes, social worker use electronic system for efficiently tracking and retaining data. Fourth, conducting counseling sessions. Internet technology and live chats platforms such as FaceTime and Skype make meeting with clients much easier and more efficient because they require social worker to do less travel. Next, we have broadly disseminating information. So innovative communication tools make distributing information among caregivers and social services agencies easier than ever. Google Docs and Google Sheets allows multiple users from unlimited location to access documents, comment, and share information. And lastly, researching resources. So social workers have the ability to stay up to date on peer-reviewed research, social issues, and what other social workers are doing by following blogs, social media accounts, and newsletters published by social work agencies such as the NASW and the ASWB. So we have also the technology standards. The goal of the technology standards is to ensure that the more social workers use technology, they are still comply with ethical regulation that protect client integrity and privacy. Specifically, technology standards stipulate that first, social workers must ensure that technologies are accessible for clients, particularly those with disabilities. Second, social worker must remain mindful of cultural and social context. Third, regardless of the means of communication, social workers must abide by the regulations that govern their activities. Fourth, social workers must provide their identities and verify those with whom they communicate. Fifth, social work agencies will comply with laws protecting clients' rights, conducting electronic transaction, data and password protection, and so forth in the storage and transmission of client data. 6. Technologies are to be used to inform communities and promote the well-being of communities. In addition, social workers using technology in face-to-face interactions will take whatever steps necessary to ensure safety and confidentiality. And lastly, social workers should use technology to remain proficient in their fields, to take webinars and workshops, and to stay abreast of current research and professional support materials. So we will now proceed to generalize advantages and disadvantages of information technology. First, we have advantages. Information can be shared quickly and easily from all over the globe, and barriers of linguistic and geographic boundaries can be torn down as people share ideas and information with each other. Second, communication has become an easier, cheaper, and faster system with the help of information technology. Third, Skype is one helpful application that allows users to communicate to other Skype users for free. You can also pay a small fee to call regular lines. Fourth, social media is also another area of communication available because of information technology. It's now easier than ever to share photos and information about your life with people you know all over the world. This draws some families closer to family members they don't get to see as often. And fifth, information technology has also created new jobs: programmers, systems analysts, hardware and software developers, and web designers all owe their jobs information technology. And lastly, we have also the disadvantages. So in information technology, we have also the vice versa, which is the disadvantages. First, we have, along with the creation of the new and interesting jobs, information technology has also led to a rise of unemployment by streamlining the business process, job redundancies, downsizing, and outsourcing has occurred. So second, changes in technology make it difficult for older employees to adapt as quickly as their younger peers. Third, there is still a great lack of privacy. Cell phones have been known to be intercepted and email addresses can be hacked. And lastly, it is also believed that along with opening a great communication window, information technology has begun to create a dominant culture. Many believe that the United States holds the most influence over how teenagers all over the world now act, dressed, and behave simply because of what they access online.
Hi, good day. I'm Rex Lemuel BHG. This time I will be reporting the use of multimedia and other technology. My topic is all about the traditional technology. The concept of multimedia technology is broad and it has infinite usage fields. It is a profound element as an educational technology in addition to its use in medical and statistical domains and in establishing databases. Mass media. It is used in the field of mass media journalism. There are many magazines and newspapers that are published periodically. The use of multimedia is also very much as in a publishing house. There are many works of newspaper designing and other stuff also. So it means that mass media is means of communication, whether written, broadcast, or spoken, that reach large of numbers of people in a short time, such as television, newspapers, magazines, and radio. Traditional audio media, economic, durable, and easy to use, uses magnetic tape to record voice, music, and other sounds. Can be used in centers, small groups, or large group. Instruction may be used for many projects. Talking books, multimedia kits, oral histories, and journals are examples. So traditional audio media means is a media communication that uses audio or recordings to deliver and transfer information through the means of sound. May refer to audio formats, may refer to analog cassettes, and other files containing audios. Traditional media are defined as those mechanisms of mass communication that predate the internet and the digital age. The primary forms of traditional media include television and radio, as well as print, newspapers, and magazines. Technology versus traditional tools for teaching. Since the beginning of educational institutions, traditional tools have been used to teach children the basic education, from chalk and blackboards to toys and interactive play. Children have used physical items to learn math, English, history, and other subjects. The other example of traditional tools for teaching are textbook, charts, pictures, and posters for easy understanding of the lessons, dictionary and encyclopedias and other reference books, and also abacus for learning numbers and small mathematical operations. Announcement. Made by the beating of Nagana drums by a stick used for communicating messages from one village to another through its beats. So an announcement is the public declaration of something. So in a picture, it is an example of an announcement in a traditional way. So he used the drums and stick to send message to the villagers, to one village to another. Puppetry, a popular form of media which exists in rural areas in India. So puppetry is a form of theater or performance that it involves manipulation of puppets. So puppetry occurs in almost all human societies where puppets are used for the purpose of entertainment through performance. Puppets are good way to deliver information. Puppets can be used to stimulate conversation and encourage people to communicate them more confident, thus helping in improving social skills. Storytelling, another form of traditional media which existed at a time when advanced forms of communication such as the written word did not exist. Storytelling describes the social and cultural activity of sharing stories. Every culture has its own stories or narratives which are shared as a means of entertainment, education, cultural preservation, and instilling moral values. Traditional media, non-electronic medium which works as a part of our culture transmitting from one generation to another generation is called traditional media. Represent as form communication using vocal and non-vocal. So traditional media existed before this digital age, but it doesn't mean that traditional media is dying, because traditional media is still alive, like newspapers, radio, billboards, and banner ads, and so many more. Traditional media still remains the best source of reliable and factual information. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Good day! Today we are going to report about the guidelines for using gender-sensitive language in reporting. The guidelines for gender-sensitive media reporting have been developed in order to support the media in their efforts to depict the world in more gender-sensitive and gender-responsive manner, thus contributing to more inclusive and equal societies. The guidelines are divided into 4 sections, each containing one aspect of gender-sensitive reporting. The first section is selection of sources and stories in order to achieve balance and presence of women and men in media reflecting the composition of society and women experiences. Section 2. Fair portrayal of women and men through elimination of stereotypes. Section 3. Use of gender-fair language, and the Section 4 is gender equality within media organization. Suggestions for using gender-sensitive language. Number 1. Use the plural form for both noun and pronoun. Instead of using this statement, each student should come to class with his assignments completed. We may use this statement to all students should come to class with their assignment completed. Number 2. Omit the pronouns altogether. Example: each professor should send one of his assistants to the conference. By using this statement, we may use this into each professor should send one assistant to the conference. Number 3. Use his or her, he or she when occasionally needs to stress the action of an individual. Such references won't be awkward unless they are used frequently. Example: if we must use the technical term he may not understand, explain it. By using this, we may also using this statement into this: if you must use a technical term he or she may not understand, explain it. Number 4. Vary your choice of pronouns when you want to give examples that emphasize the action of an individual. Ideally, choose pronouns that works counter to prevailing stereotypes. Example: the kitchen can serve as a center for new experiences and interesting place where important things happen and where she has a chance to learn about the way adult things are done. By using the statement, we may use this into this statement: the kitchen can serve as a center for new experiences, an interesting place where important things happen and where he has a chance to learn about the way adults things are done. Number 5. Switch from the third person he to the second person you when she shift is appropriate. Example: each employee should report his progress to the supervisor by June 1. Instead of using this statement, we may use this into: you should report your progress to the supervisor by June 1. Additional alternative: businessman or businesswoman, may executive manager or business person, mankind into humanity, man, individual, policewoman, police officer, chairman, chair or chairperson, repairman, technician, fireman, fighter, freshman, first year student, spokesman into a spokesperson. 6. Use they. This option is much debated by grammar experts, but most agree that it works well in several kinds of situations. They is traditionally used only to refer to a plural noun. In speech, however, early 21st century English speakers commonly use they to refer to a singular person. According to many grammar experts, that usage is incorrect, but here is an example of how it sounds in everyday speech. In this example, a student is singular, but it is replaced in the second sentence by they, a plural pronoun. In speech, we often don't notice much substitutions of the plural for the singular. In writing, however, some will find such substitutions awkward or incorrect. As such, it's the best to use they mainly in plural situation. Here is one way this can work. A student's beliefs about gender equality may be based on what he has heard in the popular media. By using the statement, we may use this into students' belief about gender equality may be based on what they have heard in the popular media. 7. Practice using gender-neutral nouns. I have here some examples. It is traditional and alternative. Businessman or businesswoman. We may use it into executive manager or business person. Mankind. We may use this into humanity.
Hello everyone, we thank you for taking time to watch this informative video. Make yourself comfortable for today. We will learn about the guidelines for gender inclusive language in English for writing. This topic includes a number of strategies to help us use gender-inclusive language. They may be applied to any type of communication, whether it is oral or written, formal or informal, or addressed to an internal or external audience. When deciding what strategies to use, take time to consider these factors. Number 1, take into account the type of text or oral communication, the context, the audience, and the purpose of the communication. Number 2, ensure that the text is readable and the text or oral communication is clear, fluid, and concise. And lastly, seek to combine different strategies throughout the text or oral communication. Are just some factors we need to consider on what strategy to use. Now, let us start exploring. But first, let us define gender in English. In English, there is a difference between grammatical gender, gender as a social construct, and sex as a biological characteristic of living beings. Gender as social construct refers to the roles, behaviors, activities, and attributes that a given society at a certain time considers appropriate for men or women. A number of strategies can be applied when speaking or writing in English to be more gender inclusive. To be more gender inclusive, we can apply this strategy. 1. Use of non-discriminatory language. We can use non-discriminatory language by using forms of address. When referring to or addressing specific individuals, use forms of address and pronouns that are consistent with their gender identity. English has very few gender markers. The pronouns and possessives he, she, her, and his, and some nouns and forms of address. Most English nouns do not have grammatical gender forms, whereas a few nouns are specifically masculine or feminine. Some nouns that once ended in man have neutral equivalents that are used to include both genders. Police officer for policemen or policewomen, spokesperson for spokesman, chair or chairperson for chairman. Miss or Mrs. Care should be taken to use the form of address preferred by each individual. Some examples that reinforced gender-biased expression goes like this. She throws or runs or fights like a girl. In a manly way. Thank you to the ladies for making the room more beautiful. Those are just some examples of a gender-biased expression that reinforce gender stereotypes. How do I know if I am using discriminatory language? Reverse the gender. Would reversing the designation or the term from masculine to feminine or vice versa change the meaning or emphasis of the sentence? Would it make the sentence sound odd? Another strategy to make your piece a gender inclusive is to make gender visible when it is relevant for communication. We can be visible by using feminine and masculine pronouns. Pairing is the use of both feminine and masculine forms, he or she, her or his. It is a strategy that may be used when the author or speaker wants to explicitly make both women and men visible. Example: when a staff member accepts an offer of employment, he or she must be able to assume that the offer is duly authorized. In cases in which highlighting gender would make the sentence more inclusive, we can be visible by using two different words. This strategy should be used only when popular beliefs or preconceptions may obscure the presence or action of either gender. The final strategy we can use to make our piece a gender inclusive is to do not make gender visible when it is not relevant for communication. We can apply this strategy by using gender-neutral words. Be gender visible by using gender-neutral words. An example of a gender-neutral word goes like this. You can be less inclusive if you use the term mankind, but you can be more inclusive if you use the term humankind, humanity, or human race. Another example is that you can be less inclusive if you use the word manpower, but you can be more inclusive if you use the word staffing or workforce. Another example is that you can be less inclusive if you use the term man-made, but you can be more inclusive if you use the term artificial or human caused. We can also use a plural antecedent. When referring to generic subjects, plural antecedents may be used in order to avoid gendered pronouns. We can also be visible by omitting the gendered word. If you are not sure, you can omit the gendered word in your text, such as his or her. We can also use the passive voice. The passive voice is not an appropriate option for all sentences in English, as employing the passive voice often changes the emphasis of the sentence. However, it does offer an option for avoiding gendered constructions. As you review writing, ask yourself the following questions. 1. Have you used man or men or words containing them to refer to people who may not be men? Number 2. Have you used he, him, his, or himself to refer to people who may not be men? Number 3. If you have mentioned someone's sex or gender, was it necessary to do so? Number 4. Do you use any occupational or other stereotypes? Number 5. Do you provide the same kinds of information and descriptions when writing people of different genders? And lastly, perhaps the best test for gender-inclusive language is to imagine a diverse group of people reading your paper. Would each reader feel respected?
Those are just some of the guidelines for you to be gender inclusive. I hope you learned something from our report. Thank you and God bless.
And that ends our discussion. I hope you grasped and understood our lesson. If not, you can replay our video or you can address your questions to us. Thank you.